Welcome to MojoPlays, and today we'll be going over the 10 scariest Metroid bosses.
Before we begin, we publish new content all week long, so be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.
For this list, we'll be discussing the most terrifying boss characters and creatures from the Metroid series. If there's a boss that has you quaking in your power suit, be sure to share your scare in the comments below. Metroid Prime. Metroid Prime. The titular final antagonist of Metroid Prime, and indeed its entire trilogy, this mutated parasite is absolutely monstrous. Sealed away beneath an impact crater on the planet Talon 4, Metroid Prime was mutated by the Phazon there into a huge spider-like form. This stage of the boss is only weak to one type of beam fire, depending on its coloring. Its huge spidery form and charging attacks are creepy enough, but after defeating it, it reveals its core form, which is like a floating alien jellyfish or octopus. It's only by risking corruption from Phazon herself that Samus is able to take it down. Although, Prime survives through imitation. More on that later. But speaking of imitation, SA-X, Metroid Fusion. X-parasites are alien creatures that can mimic the appearance and abilities of creatures they attack. When one of these things attacks Samus, it infects her and her suit, eventually creating a copy of her, designated SA-X. However, the fact that it, or rather they, since it reproduces and creates more of itself, pursue Samus throughout Metroid Fusion, makes it/them a terrifying foe indeed. During your final battle with it, it transforms into an even more monstrous form. It probably didn't get that look from Samus though. Charge Beam Beast, Metroid Zero Mission. Metroid Zero Mission may be the remake of the original Metroid, but it does bring some new things to the table, and one of those things is bosses. The Charge Beam Beast, aka Diorem, is a cycloptic centipede with huge spiny legs that drops down from the ceiling in the middle of a normal cave, blocking your escape. Its only weak point is naturally its huge eye. If you defeat it, you are rewarded with the Charge Beam. However, if you don't manage to defeat it after a certain amount of time, it will leave and show up again elsewhere. The beast's sudden, seemingly random appearance, as well as its potentially recurring nature, lends a degree of terror to an otherwise simple boss. Emperor Ing, Metroid Prime 2, Echoes. The Ing are shadowy insect things that live in a dimension of darkness who devour light. Yep, that's a recipe for nightmares. And the Emperor Ing rules over all the rest of them. The final boss of this game, the Phazon mutated Emperor Ing, has several forms, all of them frightening. It begins the battle as a many-tentacled monstrosity. Its next phase sees it encase itself in a hard cocoon that expels poison gas. Lastly, it becomes a huge spindly-legged spider thing with crown-like protrusions. Plus, it has those connective bits of skin over its mouth, which brings to mind that disturbing body horror scene from The Matrix. Every bit of nope. Parasite Queen, Metroid Prime. The first boss in Metroid Prime, the Parasite Queen, definitely left an impact. A massive cross between a bug and a reptile, delicious, the Parasite Queen is located behind a rotating series of shields that block your attacks from hitting her, but allow her to shoot acid from her mouth at you. Although she's not exactly difficult, since all you need to do is strafe around her and shoot when a gap in the shield opens up, her design is plenty creepy. Also, real talk, her theme is amazing. It really adds to the Parasite Queen's mystique. Mother Brain, Various. Nothing is quite as scary as the mind, or in this case, a brain. Mother Brain is a techno-organic AI who holds a leadership position among the space pirates, Samus's most frequent foes. The malevolent gray matter has taken many forms over the years, with its most prominent being a brain surrounded by a gauntlet of lasers and other obstacles to a giant monstrous body. Both are scary in their own ways, as Mother Brain has both brains and brawn to battle you with and excels at both. Phantoon, Various. With a name that sounds like phantom, it's no wonder Phantoon is somewhat ghostly. A huge tentacled creature with a single eye, Phantoon can become intangible for brief periods, as well as control psychic projections of blue flames, which may or may not have eyeballs. Phantoon is also an eldritch monstrosity from H.P. Lovecraft, untouchable and unknowable. Except it can be defeated once it's visible and its eye is open. Even so, knowing it can be defeated doesn't make it any less of a nightmare. And while we're on the subject, Nightmare, Various. It's right there in the name, isn't it? Nightmare is one of the most powerful things Samus has ever faced. A biomechanoid creature, Nightmare has a haunting face, two in fact, and a grungy robotic body. As scary as its appearance is, its abilities are even more frightening. Nightmare is able to manipulate gravity. It can halt Samus in midair, drawing in her shots, and slow her down to a crawl. So not only is it a tough and freaky boss, it forces you to fight with several handicaps. Ridley, Various. Arguably Samus's most notable nemesis, Ridley is a huge cross between a dragon and a pterosaur. A high-ranking space pirate, Ridley may rarely be the final boss, but he's always one of the most memorable. Ridley has taken many forms over the years, attaining mutated forms as well as mechanical ones. His abilities have likewise had some variations over time, including being able to camouflage himself or create armor, in addition to his usual fire-breathing, flight, and propensity for surviving lethal wounds. But no matter how many times we and Samus battle him, he remains a terrifyingly tenacious villain. Before we get to our final pick, here are a few honorable mentions. Omega Pirate, Metroid Prime, a massive space pirate that can absorb attacks, turn invisible, and create shockwaves. Dark Samus, Various, Metroid Prime with Samus's form and a dark attitude. Golden Terizo, Super Metroid. Seeing a statue come to life as a boss is still shocking. Kraid, Various. Yet another space pirate, Kraid may begin the series as relatively the same size as Samus, but he grows to become a huge problem. Kraid is a slightly chubby, gigantic reptile with 3 eyes. And when we say gigantic, we mean absolutely enormous, like Godzilla's little brother big. Generally only weak to being shot in the mouth, Kraid is among the largest enemies Samus has ever faced. It has been some time since his last appearance, but Kraid is due to return soon, and by all accounts, it seems it will be with a vengeance.
Check out these other great clips from MojoPlays, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.